I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the holders wobble wobble. Just thought he's fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he ain't spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. Finish the bottle when that whole thing, she a model. She in the mirror like it's Showtime, the Apollo. She strip the phone, now I pull up in the Tahoe. Thought it's boring, I ain't calling unless she swallow. She don't listen, I ain't tripping, she don't follow. Got another way, he swerving on the potholes. Got another thought, he thinks she hit the lotto. She pop a perky, then she chase it with Moscato. This bitch is bad, she fucking all the drug dealers. I took his bitch and then I took his plug, nigga. Have her back, I'm getting to the bag, nigga. Bust in your house, I'm running through your stash, nigga. On the grand flashing all that cash, nigga. Part in my back, I'm counting all these stacks, nigga. Gucci duffel Louis on my ass, nigga. Hennessy and TNT, we blast, nigga. Ferragamo on my chest, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the holders wobble wobble. Just thought he's fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he ain't spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby. This whole insect, she fucking on the damn crew. Coming out of sock, she lost her damn shoe. Her friend a poppin', she ain't got no damn clue. Rollin' O's and weed and smoking bamboo. Smoking gelato when the Tahoe smell the fucking jar. She wanna ride with me cause we look like some movie stars. This thotty moving faster than a speeding car. Coming through the door with no panties on. Poppin' Molly's and you know she took a Zanny bar. Talking about a Mazda is a family car. I hit her with a curve, then the coup de grace. Zillow games, I'm shaking up the dice, baby. She wanna stay with me so we can make the night, baby. She wanna be with me so I can lay the pipe, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm only out here for the night, baby. Ferragamo on my chest, I'm looking right, baby. She wanna link, I'm only out here for the night, baby. I'm Puerto Rico, Casamigos with the Sprite, baby. She wanna fuck with the scammers, talk to me nice, baby. She hit the bottle and the holders wobble wobble. Just thought he's fucking for a fight, the cobble wobble. African twin, he ain't spin, hit the throttle. She wanna fuck with the gangsters, talk to me nice, baby.
It's gonna be like an awkward show tonight. It really is. Welcome to the check-in report. I am your host, True and Living. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only Macaroni. It's gonna be kind of awkward doing this show, but we're here to talk about black fatigue. A lot of white people are struggling with black fatigue, and we did a show last night. I talked to the one and only Star Report, where we had a great dialogue in terms of black fatigue, and I just wanted to talk about it tonight. I'm going to be looking at the chat section in terms of, people struggling with black fatigue. Are you a white man dealing with black fatigue? Are you struggling with black people? Are you struggling with the criminality, the drugs, the the loud rap music? We want to know tonight. I want to know tonight. I've never done a show like this where I had somebody like staring at me while I'm doing the show. Normally I'm like, doing the live and I'm used to that, but yeah, but let's get into it. Black fatigue. Are you white dealing with black fatigue? We did a show last night about this. The one and only Star accompanied me, and we talked about it. We broke it down. So I want to hear from you guys tonight. Are you dealing with black fatigue? Are you a white man? Are you a white woman dealing with black fatigue? I want to know tonight. I want to know. I also want to play some videos because I want to walk this thing down because there's videos on X about it, but there's also videos on like Twitter about it. So I want to watch videos in terms of like people speaking on black fatigue. Maybe they could break it down better for me. But let me see what these videos are looking like. And I'm watching the comment section. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in the comment section. Okay. Let me make sure my shit is refreshed in the comment section. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me make sure my shit is refreshed on the comment section. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. I think I'm refreshed on the comment section. So let me get into one of these videos. This is so awkward doing this like this, but let's do it.
Or ghetto fatigue is a real thing, and no one's staying silent about it any longer. No nationality wants to be involved or bothered by this loud, obnoxious group of people.
Hold on.
No one, not even hard-working Black Americans.
I'm
telling no lies here. Everywhere that group of people go, chaos follows. And no matter where you go, they're there. You can't go on a cruise ship because they done ghettoed it out.
No, I disagree with this analysis. There's plenty of ghetto people on cruise ships, and they're not melanated. Listen, I've been on cruise ships before, and I've seen people of all different races and ethnicities wild out and do things of debauchery. People wilding out, getting drunk, ghettofied, having too much fun. It's not just a particular race of people. You're putting it on them, but it's really everybody. Everybody's really wilding out. And I talked about this on Star's platform. How everybody has their own bad apples. Every race kind of has that kind of like a dysfunction class. So I don't know why it's only being put on one sect of people. But let's continue with. I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear his point of view on it.
Have you seen the Carnival cruise ships? It looks like a fucking barbecue. And if you
on a Carnival cruise, when you go to a Carnival cruise, in my opinion, people go to Carnival cruises to turn up.
Notice it's always the same.
People go to Carnival cruises to turn up. You don't go to Carnival cruises to be on your best behavior. You don't go on Carnival cruises to be, chillaxing and all, and to be on your best. You go there to turn up. You go there to be ghettofied. You go there to get drunk. You go there, find a little, something on the boat, smash it out. That's what you're going there for. Hold on. My allergies are like kicking in right now. Hold on. My allergies are like really like killing me right now. Well, let's go back into it.
Group of people, loud,
okay,
bonnets, pajamas, big ass eyelashes that flood.
Why you got to talk about the eyelashes? Why you got to talk about the eyelashes? See, listen, it's not just Black women wearing the eyelashes. I see every ethnicity. I've seen white women. I've seen Hispanic women. I've seen Black women. I've seen all women wear the eyelashes. Why you just put it on the Black woman for? I don't think that's fair.
The EBT crowd. It's gotten so bad that you won't catch me at a Juicy Crab or a Cheesecake Factory.
The EBT crowd. So I already know what the initiative here. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to Vent. I see Vent is in the chat. Salute to Vent. I see he's in the chat. Salute to him. How do y'all feel about the EBT crowd? He's saying that it's the EBT crowd. I see Ali Rico says, oh, he's speaking big facts. What facts is he speaking? I need to know. What facts is he speaking? Let me know what facts is he speaking. Please let me know. What facts is he speaking, Ali Rico? Let me know. Because, I think every race has this issue. I think everybody has this problem. Oh, I just see. Hold on. Okay. I see every race has this problem. I feel like every every race has like a dysfunction class. Why are we just putting it on Black people? Why aren't we all coming together and say, listen, they're just a sect of people that are just dysfunctional? Why we got to say, oh, it's only the Black class, it's only that class, it's only these particular people? I don't think that's fair, in my opinion. He says not him. Oh, he says not him. You. What am I doing? Oh, you're saying I'm speaking the truth. Oh, okay. Salute. Thank you. Let's get back into this video.
or even a McDonald's for that matter, because they turn those places into shooting galleries whenever someone that looks like...
I disagree. I grew up in Long Island. I've seen plenty of drunk white boys fight in McDonald's, fight in LIRR train stations. I've seen plenty of white boys fight in subways. If anybody here, if you're growing up in Long Island, it was a pastime of yours seeing white boys fight on the LIRR. That was normal. That was normal. That was a big part of my childhood. Going to Penn Station, riding on the LIRR, having a good time out in Manhattan, and riding back late night, and it'll be like a bunch of drunk white boys fighting on the LIRR. That was like a pastime of mine. So you're not going to tell me that it's not, people that are doing this, that are other races that are committing these debaucherous acts and that are acting ghetto or ratchet. Every race has a dysfunction class. That's a fact. Every race has it. Let me continue.
Look at them wrong. They have mastered the victim card. Everyone's against them. There's oppression everywhere. And it's always the white man's fault, never their own. But let one of them tell it. They would have you believe that the police is the most dangerous thing within their communities. Wrong. You're the most dangerous thing in your community, which is why the police are there in the first place, to stop you from committing.
No, the police are there to protect and serve. They are public servants, and they're there to keep the peace in every neighborhood. It's not just the black community. They're there to keep the peace in the white community as well. When there's white people running up in the Congress Hall, when there's white people turning up when the town has won a Super Bowl and they're flipping over cars and they're rioting in the streets. They're there to keep the pieces there. So why are you only know what the problem is? We have a coon class as well. And clearly this coon right here is a part of the coon class. He wants to focus on blackity black. He wants to focus on the black criminality. He wants to focus on the ghetto stuff that's happening in the black neighborhood. He wants to focus on that, but he's not talking about the ghetto nonsense and the BS that happens in the white neighborhood. Like these things don't happen. Like we don't see rioting. Like we don't see drunk white boys fight. Like we don't see ghettofied white women fight in their neighborhoods. We've seen all of this before. But you're only putting it on the blackity blacks. You're only putting it on black people. That's very interesting. We have a coon class, and he's clearly part of the coon class. Let's get into another video. Let me because he was cooning too much for me. He was cooning too much for me. Let's get into another joint. Let me get into another joint. Hold on.
Usually when I see those black fatigue videos, I
hold on.
Keep on.
Let me see what this brother's talking about.
People,
hold on.
Black people talking about they are fed up with black people's uncivilized and ratchet ways.
My thing is this though: if you live in any community, right? If you live in any community. Right, let's say it's a low income or impoverished community. No matter where you are, if there's poverty in your community, no matter what the race of people you're living by, you will experience some ghetto criminality activities. You're gonna see that no matter what race you are, whether you're in a white community or you're in a black community, you're gonna see some ghetto-fied nonsense in your community. But we keep putting it on black people. That's very interesting. Let me continue though.
They say every time they turn around, there we go again. The usual suspects stealing, running out of stores.
Let me see this.
Merchandise with no shame at all. Heathens, thugs, nigga activity. There they go again.
Yeah, and I don't like that whole the nigga activity. What about the white activities?
You don't find that suspicious?
Cause I got video of that too. Hold on. Maybe I should get into that too. Maybe I should get into that. Hold on, y'all. Maybe I should get into some white activities. Y'all making me want to get into that. We might have to get into that as well. Hold on, y'all making me want to get into that because we can't just talk about the black fatigue. We might have to get into the white fatigue tonight. We might have to do that tonight. Give me 1 second. Hold on, what white fatigue? I think I made a channel with that. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. White fatigue. Okay, here we go. Let's stop acting like it's just black people with the criminality. Let's talk about the white criminality. Take a look at this. Why are we acting like it's just black people turning up? It's white people too. They turning up. Look, they drunk. They acting wild, belligerent. They out here. Look, got this one white boy in a chokehold. They out here being ghetto too. They out here being ratchet too. They out here getting drunk, belligerent, acting wild, but we're only putting it on the black people. Let's get back into it. Look at Brad turn up. Look at Brad turning up and getting ghetto-fied right now. Look at Chad and Brad turn up right now.
You don't find that suspicious?
Turning up right now. But we're not discussing this. We're not talking about the white criminality. We're not talking about the drunk white boys. We're not talking about the radicalized LGBT femboys. We're not talking about them. We're just focusing on the blackity blacks. Let's continue. This is some high levels of black criminality, white criminality, in my opinion. Salute to Master and we need this to be a 24/7 channel. This is a 24/7 channel. I just been busy a couple of days, but we're here to talk about black fatigue and the myth of black fatigue. I don't believe in the myth. Let me go kind of widescreen on y'all just to talk for a little bit. I don't believe in the whole black fatigue thing. I just it kind of irks me. The whole black fatigue mythos. It doesn't sit right with me, because the reality is, first of all, the whole black fatigue thing, they've stolen this term. This term was really indicative of black people and what they were dealing with in America. White people have taken that and they're saying, oh, they're tired of dealing with the criminality and the loud rap music and this and that by way of black people. I think that's a misnomer. I think that the reality of the situation is that it doesn't exist. I mean, you're tired of what? Black people have learned this, the dysfunction. They have learned the criminality. They've learned the savagery. They've learned it from white people. I'm just being honest. I talked about this on Star on Salute to Star. Star gave me a great platform where I got to speak about black fatigue. Salute to everybody. Salute to anybody that's in here from that show. I have a problem with it. I really have a problem with it. I don't believe in it, and I just think that it's a misnomer. Salute to Master. He says, nah, you held it down though. That number 9 and Rory dude was wild. Oh, you was in there? Master, you was in there? Salute, bro. Salute. Oh, you got a chance to see it. Salute. Thank you, man. Yeah, number 9 is a tether. He's a tether and he's a coon, bro. He's up there tap dancing, shucking and jiving for the white man, shucking and jiving, high-fiving for the white man. It's all good though. But my whole thing is this. See, what the tether class don't understand, Master, is that because the tether class, they're so focused on, foundational Black America. What the tether class don't realize is that when white people, when white racist people are talking about Black fatigue, they're talking about all melanated people. They're not picking out sects of different Black people. They're not saying, oh, it's FBA, oh, it's the tether class. They're not delineating us. They're bunching us all together. So while he's shucking and jiving and high-fiving for the white man, the white man is putting him with the Black fatigue. And when a white man sees a video of some loud, rambunctious Negro and he's saying he's dealing with Black fatigue, he's lumping us all together. There's no delineation. There's no we're going to put the FBA here. We're going to put the tether class here. That's what the tethers don't understand. But see, the tethers, they're so blinded with hate for FBA that they're not realizing that. And another thing is, I want to talk about my white fatigue. I'm dealing with white fatigue as a Black American. I'm getting pulled over in the streets by police. I'm getting ostracized and followed by white police officers while I'm, minding my business while I'm walking through a community, a privileged community. There's, 300-pound white women, trying to procreate with me. I've been dealing with that. That's all white fatigue, in my opinion. I've been dealing with white fatigue. I mean, if we're going to talk about Black fatigue, we have to talk about white fatigue as well. So nobody wants to talk about that, though. Vince says, virtue signaling is at an all-time high. See, you know what it is, Vint? You know what it is, in my opinion? I believe, and I heard, I forgot who talked about this. I think, love you too. I heard Vlad talk about this, and he talked about how there's people online that they're saying like wild stuff to get like the clicks and the views. It's not necessarily that these people even believe this stuff. It's not necessarily that people subscribe to this stuff. It's just more so that they understand you can go online, say something crazy, because think about it, they're not getting traction from anything else. Think about it. If you had like a YouTube channel, let's say you had a YouTube channel for like 5-6 years and you wasn't getting no traction, then one day you hop on YouTube and you just start going in on Black people. You start saying like racist thing about Black people, and then you start getting traction. See, that's what I believe is happening. There's people that are just getting traction from saying these things, and then when white people see it, when they see like somebody with a Black face saying these racist things about Black people, they feel like good about it. It's like, oh yeah, there's Black people that feel like this too. So that's what's essentially happening. There's like people hopping online saying wild stuff just to make other people feel good about themselves, or feel like vindicated in that. Rage baiting, exactly, Vent. Exactly, rage baiting. Absolutely, that's what it is. That's what a lot of these people do, and that's what I think Number 9 is doing. That's what I think a lot of these people are doing. They're rage baiting. Yeah, they're like rage baiting. They're like trying to galvanize, people to feel something or to make them crash out. That's what I think it's all based in. Let me see if we can get into some more black fatigue videos. Let me see if we can get into some more. I did see some things on TikTok. Give me a second. Let me see.
Thing about the Black fatigue, we know and we understand.
Let me get into this video right here with the Black fatigue. Hear what this brother got to say right here about the Black fatigue.
And y'all have been saying the quiet.
Hold on.
And y'all have been saying the quiet part out loud for decades at this point. Yeah. It really came to a head in the Shiloh Hendrix situation. Did you call the child the word?
I disagree. It really came out with the Carmelo Anthony. Excuse me. The Carmelo Anthony situation was first, before the Shiloh Henderson incident where she called like a black child a nigger in the park. The Carmelo Anthony incident was really like the first, if you ask me.
It's my own business. You call him a Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again?
This is why God don't put me in
Yes.
these situations, gang. I would ruin my life.
Ooh, that happened. They got that woman over $700,000.
Yeah.
I have black fatigue. When a white woman calls a 5-year-old child the N-word, and y'all raise money for her. We know
It's a fact,
what y'all
yo.
are saying, and we've been saying it for years, and dumb fuck.
All right, hold on. But yeah, I agree with what he's saying. Like, you know, the whole black fatigue thing. Let me see what else is on here. Let me see this right here. Hold on.
It's not racist, and I know y'all have been told this is racist, but it's not. It's not racist to call black people out for their behavior and what they're
See this is coon behavior though. This is what I'm talking about. This is coon behavior. Cause listen, you could call out black people. I don't have a problem with anybody black calling out black people. I don't have a problem with that. But my thing is this: are you calling out other races? Because you know it's cool. You want to call out your race. You want to call out black people and all the things they do. That's fine and dandy. But do you keep that energy with other races? After you talk about all the crime in the black community, after you talk about the loud rap music, after you talk about this, after you talk about the eyelashes, after you talk about black women do this and black women do that, after you go in on black people for the last 10 hours, you go on a 10-hour roast session. Do you finally get around to talking about the other races of people and what they do? That's my issue, because you can say all these things, but are you going to talk about other races of people? Are you going to do it? Because 9 times out of 10, y'all not doing it.
doing to society at this moment. I'm glad people are noticing this because it's been so many years and it's finally catching up to y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all that white people are tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all too, but
that white people are tired of black people? Wait a minute. What you're trying to tell me is after all of the oppression, the captivity, slavery, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, Civil Rights era, getting sprayed with fire hose, bit all in the ass by German shepherds, COINTELPRO, crack epidemic, Reaganomics, dropping bombs on communities, lynchings, murders, raping. You're telling me that white people are tired of black people? Is that what you're telling me?
You don't find that suspicious?
I don't give a damn. I don't care that white people are tired of black people. I don't care. We don't got hundreds of years of oppressing white people. We don't have hundreds of years of putting them in captivity, dropping bombs on their communities. The domestic terrorism. We don't have years of doing that to them. Who gives a damn if they tired of us? I want to go in the comment section for 1 second. I want to see something. I want to see what y'all saying about this. Salute to Ben. He says there's a lot of dollars in race baiting. See, the reality is it is. There is a lot of money in race baiting. And it's what I said, Ben. The reality is this, Ben. There are people with platforms, right? And there's people that are on social media that, you know, they're not getting traction from anything else. So they get online and they start doing the rage baiting. They start talking about, you know, black people this and black people that, and then they get a community of people who support them. And it is like rage baiting. It is like rage baiting. It is race baiting. And it's all of that. You know, I don't believe in the concept of black fatigue. I don't believe in that concept. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, you know, I do believe it is a form of race baiting, like you said. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Master says, I'm tether fatigued. That's a fact. Aren't we all tether fatigued? I know I am. I'm tether fatigued. Let me see what this mammy has to say. Let me get back to this mammy. Hold on.
Everybody, the world is getting sick of y'all and y'all's bullshit. I'm so glad this day is here. I've been trying to get out.
My whole thing is this, mammy. Mammy, let me talk to you, mammy. Mammy, when white people have finally had enough and they say, you know what, we're going to take care of the Negroes. What do you think is going to happen to you? Are they going to say, oh, we're gonna treat you safe, mammy? We're gonna put you up in a high-rise hotel. We're gonna take you away from the Negroes. We're gonna give you a lifetime supply of butter biscuits and teleport. We're going to put you up in a high rise. We're going to keep you safe. We're going to give you a safe house of teleport and butter biscuits for a lifetime. Or we're going to take care of the Negroes. Is that what you think you're going to get? You think you're going to get a mammy pass or something like that? They're going to lump you in with the Negroes. They're going to snatch that bonnet off your head, knock you upside the head, and take care of you with the rest of us. So, and that's what a lot of these, like, you know, these mammies, these coons, they have to realize that they are lumping all black people together. They're not like, they're not doing no, oh, we're delineating, oh, we can work with these blacks, but we can't work with these ones. They're putting us all together. They don't care if you're a taxpaying citizen. They don't care if you are a good person. They don't care if you work a 9 to 5 and you go home, you go to work, you take care of your kids, and you do what you got to do. They don't care about that. They lumping us all together. Let me hear what this mammy has to say. Let me hear what this mammy got to say.
There that you people need help. It's me, but me and other black conservatives. We've been trying to warn
me and other black conservatives. And see, this is what I'm talking about. And it goes into what I said about the tether class, is that they have this notion that, oh, white people, when they speak of black fatigue, they're not talking about me. They're not talking about me. No, they can't be talking about me. No, they're talking about all black people. They're talking about all black people. They're talking about all of them. They're not talking about a particular class of people. They're saying all black. They're saying, yo, I'm just fed up with, I'm just black fatigue. They're not saying, because if in your definition of what black fatigue, it would be more so ghetto fatigue. Like you're tired of dealing with the ghetto black people. You're tired of dealing with the thugs or the mammies or whatever. That's what it really should be. They're not saying that. They're saying black. So they don't care if your mother is a taxpaying citizen. They don't care if your father goes to church and he just goes to work at 9 to 5 and he's never broken the law. They're saying all black people. They're not delineating. There's no separation. There's no separation from church and state. They lumping all you Negroes together, so I don't really get the whole thing with that. Wait. King MacArthur says I'm more black. You're more blacker than who? You're not blacker than me. You're damn sure not blacker than me. I'm blacker than Nat King Cole at midnight. All right, I'm blacker than all. Hold on, let me get back into this. Let me get back into this mammy. Hold on, let me see what this mammy's talking about.
That this is what it's gonna come to when y'all keep coddling black people. They're gonna see themselves as higher ups. They're gonna see themselves as
no, mammy. Get it together, mammy. Listen, they're not lumping. They're not putting you to the side. They're not putting you to the side. Oh, this is the good mammy. We're gonna keep this mammy. No, mammy. When white people see you with the bonnet on your head, they don't give a damn that you a black conservative. They don't care that you voted for Donald Trump for 2 terms. They don't give 2 damns about that. They don't give 2 damns about that. You're saying you're black. We're tired of you. Clear cut and point. That's all you need to know. So, I think this mammy and I have to call her a mammy. This mammy is under the delusion of inclusion. And that's what a lot of people are in this country. You're under the delusion of inclusion. Whether you're in the tether class, whether you're in the black conservative class. And listen, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being a black conservative. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being a black Republican. I don't think there's nothing wrong for being a black independent. But don't be under the delusion of inclusion. Hold on. Yeah, don't be under the delusion of inclusion. A lot of people are under the delusion of inclusion, and that's not good to be. It's not good to be under the delusion of inclusion. Gary says, hold on, we lump you together with others because if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But see, Gary, I understand what you're saying. But see, this message is more for black people that have this this kind of thinking that when white racist people talk about black fatigue, that they're only talking about a certain type of black person. No, they are lumping all black people together. They don't care that you're a black conservative. They don't care that you're a tether. They don't care about none of this stuff. They don't care if you're a taxpaying citizen. When they see a black person act ghetto or ratchet or thug or whatever it may be, and they're talking about black fatigue, they're lumping all black people together. That's what I'm trying to get the tether class to understand. That's what I'm trying to get the black conservative class to understand. They're lumping you all together. Nobody's delineating. So I'm just keeping it real, We got some people in the building. He says, Girl Speak says, tired of him trying to dance like a. Hold on. She says, Girl Speak says, I got real black fatigue. Sick of Fox News. Okay, speak about it, girl. Speak about it. They said their daughters be wilding out. Listen, I agree. My bonnet is cute. I'm tired of Becky doing bad things to the kids of school. Tired of imperialist race baiters. Sick of the Gentile, Judah haters of everybody. I be over them. I got real black fatigue. If you don't want to be lumped together, let me hear what Gary has to say. He says, if you don't want to be lumped together, separate yourself. Stop talking ghetto. Stop dressing ghetto. Gary, I don't know if you know this, but and I know we're speaking about white people lumping all black people together, but I don't know if you know this, but black people are not a monolith. Like, we're all different. We all think different. We all come from different places. Like me, I'm not the typical black person. I didn't grow up in a project. I didn't grow up on Section 8. I didn't grow up without a father. I don't have the typical black experience that white people think that black people have. I grew up in I grew up in suburbia. I grew up with a mother and father in my household. So, when you're saying these things, like these stereotypical things, people that talk ghetto or stop dressing like this and stop doing this, and it really doesn't really stick to the wide scale of different black people that live in America. We're all different. We all think differently. And for you to say that, it just doesn't make sense, because this could be applied to white people. White people talk ghetto. White people talk ghetto. White people dress like hoodlums. Should we be talking about black fatigue from the wigger class? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it back on you, because to me it just doesn't make sense. Because black people are not a monolith. We're all not talking ghetto. We're all not dressing like hoodlums. We're all not sagging our pants half off our asses. So to me, it just doesn't connect. I don't really know what you mean by that. It to me, it just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Let me get to the bottom of this though. Salute to Shy. I'm trying to read you guys' comments and put them on the screen. Let me actually go widescreen so I could because a lot of y'all are in here talking, and I wanna get to you guys' comments. and address what some of you guys are saying. Um, uh, hold on. Tim, this is kind of insulting. He says it's so refreshing to see a well-spoken, a smart black guy online. This is kind of like a slight, even if you're like, giving me a compliment. I mean, like, listen, there's plenty of well-spoken black people online. There's plenty of black people that have, objective opinions on, what's going on in Black America and Black fatigue. If you want to know my opinion on Black fatigue, I think it's a misnomer. I think it doesn't exist. I think it's something that white people have concocted. That it really lacks accountability. It really lacks accountability and sympathy. If you ask me, I personally believe that Black fatigue. Well, the white version of Black fatigue. It's really white people just having no empathy, having no accountability for what they've created. They've created white supremacy. They've created slavery. They've created these systematic issues in Black America. And I'm not saying that they should be the ones to fix it. You can't look at your oppressor and look at them to fix the problem. So I'm not saying that white people should have to fix these things. Black people should have to fix themselves. But it totally lacks accountability of what they've done. What they've done to Black people, they'll never be able to. They'll never be able to fix that. But that's just my opinion on that. Girl Speak going in. Salute to Girl Speak. She going in. Go ahead, sister. She says sick of the white women selling babies. That's a fact. It's a fact. White women selling babies, and a Girl Speak. Let me talk my talk for Black women. Let me stand up for Black women real quick, because the narrative, and we're talking about Black fatigue, because the narrative is that Black women are aggressive, they're mean, they're aggressive. But if we're going to be honest, Girl Speak, who is the most radicalized woman in America? Who's the most radicalized? Because they love to say Black women are angry. They love to say Black women are out of control. Who are the most radicalized in America? LGBTQ white women. LGBTQ white women are the most radicalized. They're the ones at the LGBTQ rally, turning up, fighting with white men. They grabbing the AR-15s. They going into the schools. So they love to say that Black women are so aggressive and mean and this, that, and the third. But Black women have a chip on their shoulder. They've dealing with hundreds of years of systematic oppression. What's the white woman complaining about? Why is she so radicalized? Why is she picking up an AR-15 and going into the school? Why is she turning up? Nobody want to talk about that, though. They so focused on Black fatigue. Yeah, the white woman in America is they're the most radicalized. They're the ones turning up. They don't want to talk about that, though. They want to leave that alone. They want to leave that one alone. Hold on. Girl Speak says, never forget the 5 adopted kids by the lesbian couple who was starving them, then drove off a cliff. Yeah, I think I saw that story. Where they was I did see that. Wasn't it a shack though? Wasn't they didn't they keep like some Black kids like in a shack or something like that? Was it a cliff? Oh, I saw a story like that. I don't know if that's the same one you're talking about. Girl Speak says, had the little boy hugging cops during the protest. Wow. Yeah, man. Listen, it's crazy. But yeah, man. Let me see if we can find some more videos talking about. I don't want to hear this mammy anymore. Let's find somebody else to. let me see if we can find somebody else to talk about Black fatigue. No more mammies. Let's. Yeah, because the last video I played, that was a mammy right there. That was a stone cold mammy. I could tell a mammy from a block away. Hold on. Give me what's up. Let me see what this brother talking about. Let me see what this brother talking about.
To black fatigue, it has recently been turned into a feeling that some white and black people have who say they are damn tired of foolishness of some black people. The claims of racism from sun up to sundown, loud.
In my opinion, is this in terms of black fatigue? You know, if anybody white is tired of black fatigue, you're dealing with black fatigue. You know, the criminality, the ghetto nonsense, the loud rap music. What about, you know, the fatigue that black people are dealing with? You know, I'm dealing with fatigue of white people. I'm tired of being, you know, ostracized and being racially profiled while I'm driving my car by white officers. You know how many times I've been pulled over in my car by a white officer just because I'm black, driving in a kind of decent car, being pulled over for no particular reason. You know how many times I go through a white community, I'm getting stared at and getting looked at. Well, he don't belong over here. What about the fatigue that we are dealing with in America? Going into a store and being constantly followed. What's he doing over there? I'm trying to patronize this damn business. But you're following me, you're looking at me. What that nigga doing over there? What did he put that in his pocket? What about the fatigue that black people are dealing with 24/7? Every second of the damn day.
Talking, fighting, and the list goes on. Not my list now, keep that in mind. But
Hold
some
on.
people are tired of the complaints and don't give a damn. Here's what one TikTok user had to say about it.
Not racist, and I know y'all been told this is racist.
Oh, y'all really gonna play the mammy? Y'all really gonna play the mammy again? Again? Not again. I don't want to hear the mammy again. I don't want to hear the mammy again. I don't want to hear the mammy again. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to hear the mammy again. Let's play another video. Hold on.
I just saw a white girl on my For You page talking about the word black fatigue. She said, "I'm so glad we're finally talking about this. We as a society are sick of y'all." The whites are now saying, "I've stayed quiet about this for too long. The ghetto behavior needs to stop." Oh! The term black fatigue was created by a black woman to describe the mental and physical toll that systemic racism has on black people. It does not mean an invitation for white people. Talk about how you're sick of black people. I'm at a loss for words. That's probably the most on-brand white person thing I've ever seen. Y'all just expose yourselves completely that you're racist and you don't read. If you're interested, here's the book written by Mary Frances Winters, the woman who coined the term black fatigue. Please educate yourselves.
Listen, y'all gotta start exposing these people for who they are. She literally referred to y'all as the whites. You know how
I think we got another coon in here. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna hear what he has to say. Hey, all anybody that's a mod in there, get this dude out of here. He's kind of turning up. Like, hey, listen, you could say whatever you want in the chat, but don't spam it. Don't be a spammer in here. We don't want no spamming in here. Please don't spam in here. Please do not spam. No spamming, bro. You can say whatever you want, but just don't spam. Please, no spamming. Bro, relax with the chill. Stop spamming. You can say what. All right. Okay, all right. As long as you don't spam, you can say whatever you want. Just don't spam, all right? Let me see what some of you guys are saying. Yeah, all right. Yeah, salute to Master. Because he was going a little crazy with the stuff. Let me see what y'all saying in here. Girl Speak says American culture is built on what I do. Well, salute to you. Mike says, "What the f is black fatigue?" Let me educate what Mike what black fatigue is. Black fatigue is well, if you want to deal with the original term was coined. They're actually about to speak about it. Black fatigue is black people dealing with oppression in America, dealing with systematic oppression in America. That's what black fatigue originally was. white people have taken the term black fatigue and they're making it, oh, we're tired of dealing with black people, the criminality, the loud rap music and this and that, and anything that comes by way of black people that's negative. That's what they have turned it around on black people, and now they are making it apply to themselves now. So that's what black fatigue is today, or what that's what they've essentially stolen the term black fatigue. So that's what it is. Give me a second, y'all. Let me scroll up. I'm trying to catch some of y'all what y'all was saying, because the screen was going kind of fast for me. Yeah, the screen is going mad fast. Strike says living around blacks. What about living around blacks? What's the problem with living around blacks? I don't know. What's the problem? Listen, all black people are not created evil, not created equal. Like, I grew up living around black people. I grew up living around Hispanic people. Like, I mean, like, I don't really get the gist. Like, I believe that if you live in a community that is dealing with poverty, you're going to deal with criminality in that community. That's just the reality of the situation. But if you live in a community that's, kind of middle class, working class people, I mean, people that got to wake up every day, go to work, you're not dealing with that. You're not dealing with, ghetto-fied ratchetness every second of the day. People have, at least in my era when I was growing up, I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like that. All the black kids in my community, they were hospitable, they were respectable, they weren't ratchet, they weren't in all the gangs. Like, that was never my experience. But see, I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in the black suburbs. So I don't know that way. I'm sure it was like that in the projects. I'm sure it was like that in the hood. I'm sure that's probably what the experience was in the hood. But see, that's not my experience. So when I hear white people say these things, we're tired of the criminality, we're tired of the ratchetness, I understand what you're saying, because I've seen this stuff by way of going to different people's communities and seeing different things in life and in the rap music and different people's lives. But in terms of my experience, that was never my experience. That wasn't my experience. So I don't necessarily come from that. So I don't really understand it fully. That's just my opinion, though. King says, I grew up in the country. Well, tell me, was it like that for you? Was it like that for you? ATL was an affluent with black wealth. Yeah, at a point in time, ATL was a great hub for that, Hold on. Let me just, salute to J Hold. J Hold says all races have great people and horrible people. See, I said this last night. I was on Star, salute to Star. I was on Star's platform, and this is what I told a person, because there was a person on that panel. Let me go widescreen again. Let me go widescreen on y'all. There was a person on that panel that was like, there's a Negro right now with gold teeth and dreads that he'll rob every Negro on this line. And then I had to stop him. I had to say, whoa. Wait a minute, though. Bro, will you at least admit that every race has their bad apples? And he said yes. But he said yes, but so what? And I said, whoa, wait a minute. But you just admitted that every race has their bad apples. So you're so focused on a black Negro with dreads and gold teeth. You're so focused on that person, but you're not focused on every other person of every race that has people like that in their communities. So, I just feel like, you're not being honest. You're not being truthful in terms of the whole full scale of the situation. The reality and how we should look at it is that there are good and bad apples everywhere in every race and in every ethnicity. That's just my opinion on the situation. But that's how I see it. Let me see. Let me read some more of your comments. I'm reading some of this stuff. Oh, hold on. I like this. I like this comment right here. And then they prop up the 1% ignorant black stars. That's an absolute fact. And see, that's death by design. I agree with this. There was a woman on the panel last night that talked about this. I forgot the name. I wish I knew the name of the woman, but she talked about how that, the black, she said the black dysfunction class, the black dysfunctionary class, pretty much like the ghetto, the hood, the ratchet, the thugs. They're like propping those people up, or they're commercializing that people. Think about it. How many times have you seen Sexy Red? How many times have you seen, the new thug rapper, the thug rapper here, the thug rapper there? They're commercializing the negative behavior. They're commercializing the ratchetness, the ghetto. They're commercializing it, and they're making it cool. They're making it the standard. And we definitely agreed. And she also said how every race has like that dysfunctionary class. Every race has that dysfunctionary ghetto class. But the black dysfunctionary class is probably the most influential by way of hip hop, because hip hop is the top selling art form in terms of music. So, that black dysfunction class is probably the most influential. And maybe that's the problem that we need to deal with. Maybe we need to deal with the fact that that black dysfunctionary class and that black ghetto, that black type of stereotype is being commercialized. Maybe we should deal with that. Maybe that's something we should deal with. Salute to Malcolm. Malcolm says, I have pink fatigue. Hold on. Pink fatigue is crazy. Hold on. Pink fatigue is crazy. I have pink fatigue. Listen, bro, that's a real thing. Pink fatigue is a real thing. Let me just see something real quick. Oh, we got 100. We got 107 people in the building. Hold on. My fault. Yo, salute to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. I didn't realize we had that many people in the building. I have been looking at the stats. But yeah, man, in terms of black fatigue, I agree with this right here. I hate pink fatigue. I thought he said I have pink fatigue. He says I hate pink fatigue. Listen, man, I'm dealing with white fatigue myself. And I would love for people to talk about that. When are we gonna? We need to talk about white fatigue. If white people are going to be discussing their black fatigue, I think it's time for black. If white people are going to discuss their black fatigue, we need to talk about our white fatigue. We need to flip it around on them. Because I believe the whole concept is a misnomer to begin with. Maestro says, can you, I don't know, you're talking crazy. I'm just want to read some of you guys' comments and get through some of this stuff. Alyssa says, being fatigued only means nobody likes being around who acts loud and inconsiderate. But Alisa, will you agree that every ethnicity has these dysfunctionary people in their community? Every community has this. It's not just black people. You're going to tell me that every race doesn't have a dysfunctionary class, doesn't have a ghetto class, doesn't have a criminality class, doesn't have a class that is the stereotypical class? White people have a stereotypical class. Black people have it. Hispanic people have it. Asian people have it. Everybody has it. But why are we so focused on the dysfunctionary black class? Why are we so focused? Is it because it's probably the most commercialized? Because they're not commercializing the dysfunctionary class of every other race. They're not propping that up. They're not commercializing that. Is it because we have commercialized, the black dysfunctionary class? Is that the reason? Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's something we need to address. Salute to Bunny. He says, who is itching and complaining the most? If you ask me, Bunny, if you ask me, in my opinion, this is just my humble opinion, if we're going to say who is itching and complaining the most, in my opinion, it is the white female in America. They are bitching and complaining the most. That's my opinion. It is the white LGBTQ radicalized white women in America. If you ask me, they are bitching and complaining. They're complaining about their body dysmorphia. They're complaining about their pronouns. They're complaining about their rights as women. They're complaining about, everything, not getting equal pay. If you ask me, that is who is complaining the most, more than anybody. And they've radicalized. White women have radicalized. They're no longer in the streets burning their bras. They're no longer doing that. They're grabbing the AR-15s. The white LGBTQ radicalized women, they're grabbing the AR-15s. They're going into the schools now. So if you're going to say who's itching and bitching and complaining the most, to me, it's the white radicalized LGBTQ white women. If you ask me. Yeah, you might get a black person, talking about we shall overcome. You may get that. You may get a couple of, stores get, ran into and people and people will loot and rob. You might get all this and people, what? They forget about it another week, right? And somebody builds a statue and they forget about it. You don't see black people radicalizing. You don't see them grabbing the AR-15s and going into schools. Because of their body dysmorphia, because of their pronouns. We see white women radicalizing. We see white men radicalizing. So let's really talk about it. Hold on. Let me get to some other people in here. We got a lot of people in the building. Sean says, we weren't complaining until the blacks came overseas. Who brought the blacks overseas? Sam, who brought the blacks overseas? Who brought the blacks overseas? Who brought the blacks overseas? You created the problem, but you're bitching and complaining about it. Sammy, you created the problem, but then you want to bitch and complain about it. Maybe you should have left those black people where they were. You should have left them over there. And that's the problem with white people. The reality is you can't get rid of us. We built America. We're the building blocks of America. America was built off the backs of slavery. We fought in your world wars. We fought in your military. We've built the damn country. We're not the immigrant class. We're not the tether class. We are a part of the fabric of America. So that's what you're really mad about. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Black people, we're more patriotic than white people. The first person to lay down their life, I don't know if you guys know this, the first person to lay down their life for this country, July 4th is coming up. Make sure you remember this. The first person to lay down their life for America, Old Glory, was a black man by the name of who? Crispus Attucks. It wasn't an Anglo-Saxon. It wasn't a bloke from Ireland. It wasn't a German. It was a black man by the name of Crispus Attucks. So we're the most patriotic. Let's talk about it. We're the most patriotic. We're the most patriotic. We're the most patriotic. And I see people are saying that's not true. That's not true. All you gotta do is look this up. Hey, you don't have to listen to me. Look it up. Do your research. And don't be And don't be a slouch. Do your real research. Don't do Google research. You could do Google research. You're gonna get the same answer. But do some real research and actually look into who was the first person to lay down their life for this country. Yeah, do some real research. Don't do no Google research. Do some real research. You know? DJ says, and you are why we have fatigue. You have fatigue because of me? Because I'm speaking and talking? Oh, you don't want niggas to talk. You don't want niggas to voice their opinions. That's what you want. You don't want us to talk. You want us to be, docile, quiet. Not anymore, sir.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
I just want to get into some of you guys things. Some of you guys are just like kind of just racist. You don't really have anything of substance to say. Yeah, some of you guys are just racist. You don't really have nothing of substance to say. If you disagree with my point, that's fine. But at least be have something of substance to say. Be objective and have something of substance to say. That's all I ask. I don't want y'all to agree with me. Remember that. I don't want you guys to agree with me. I don't want a lot of you to agree with me. I want you guys to be objective to what I'm saying. But have some substance to what you're saying. Don't just be a white angry racist person. Have some substance to what you're saying. Bring some information to the dialogue. Big Turbo says, "Did you ever serve?" No, I did not serve. But there are plenty of black Americans that served this country. My grandfather, he served this country. My uncle, he served this country. So there's men in my family who have served this country. But no, I have not served this country. But I have nothing but respect for the men and women that did serve this country. And Silencio. I'm talking to my girl. Hold on. I'm just trying to answer you guys what you guys are saying, because a lot of people in the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I already answered your question. You asked me, did I serve? I told you no, I did not serve. My grandfather served and my uncle served and my cousin. He's currently serving right now. So there are men in my family who have served. But did I serve? No, I did not serve. Sean says, so you don't appreciate the freedom they created for you? That's a misnomer. I have nothing but respect for the men and women who have served this country. That's not the point here. We're not talking about men and women who have served the country. Tonight's topic was about black fatigue. This is not about, the men and women who have served this country. When it comes to the men and women who have served this country, I have nothing but respect for the men and women, whether you're black, white, purple, blue, no matter what color you are. If you serve this country, I have respect for you. I have immense amount of respect for you. Somebody says, now this is an interesting thing. This is interesting. I want to talk about this. And I think that a lot of you are going to agree with me on this. Mexican Bandit says, do you think George Floyd deserved a statues and a mural? Let's talk about this. This is very good to bring up. And I'm happy somebody asked this question, because this is something I want to say. If you're asking me, in my opinion, George Floyd did not deserve a statue. He did not deserve a mural. He did not deserve to be. He did not deserve to be a martyr. If you're asking me, If you're asking me, he did not deserve to be martyred. The man was a criminal, a lifelong criminal. The man was an addict. I would say that right here. But at the end of the day, white America, the man did not deserve to die like a dog in the street. That's a fact. I'm gonna say he was a criminal. I'm gonna say he was a user. I'm gonna say he was all of these things. I'm going to say that the man was an addict, a user, a lifelong criminal. I'm going to say all of these things. He did not deserve to be a martyr. He did not deserve to be a martyr whatsoever. But he also didn't deserve to die in the streets. And the issue with him getting a statue, I'm gonna hold the Democrats and the liberals more accountable for that, because the problem with the Democrats and the problem with the liberals are, instead of giving black people change, instead of actually giving black people something of value, tangibles, what they try to do with black people is try to pacify them. They try to give them tokenism. Oh, we're gonna give you guys a statue. Oh, we're gonna give you guys a mural. We're gonna paint Black Lives Matters on the Washington D.C. streets. They try to pacify black people instead of giving them actual change, instead of working on a hate crime bill, instead of working on a policing bill, instead of working on tangibles that black people could benefit from. So I'm going to hold not black people accountable for the statue. I'm going to hold white liberals and Democrats accountable for that statue. It's not the black people. I never heard a black person ask for a George Floyd statue. That's a fact. I never heard on any of those Black Lives Matters rallies, on any of those, in any of those rallies, I've never heard anybody hop on that microphone and say, we're not going to get out of these streets until you give us a George Floyd statue. Nobody out there that was protesting, whether they were, disruptors like Antifa or some type of governmental agents, or whether they were just, regular people out there. Nobody was out there, protesting for a George Floyd statue. They wanted real change, And listen, I'm very critical of Black Lives Matter. I don't believe in that organization whatsoever. But, when it comes to that statue, I don't think that George Floyd deserved the statue or a mural. He didn't deserve to be a martyr. But, he also didn't deserve to die in the streets like a dog. But that's my opinion, Allison says he represented someone we all know, though. So I think it touched something in all of us. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that we all could sympathize with the story. I think we could all sympathize what happened to him. But if the question, Allison, is Alyssa, excuse me, Alyssa, if the question is, did he deserve a statue? I mean, the answer would be no. He didn't deserve a statue. He didn't deserve a statue. But I agree. I think we all could sympathize with the story, and we all know someone like that in our community. And if anybody in our community that's like that, we don't want to see that happen to them, because we understand they probably had it rough, they had it hard, and we don't want to see somebody like that in our community that happen to them, But yeah, that's the facts, though. That's the facts of the situation. Razor says they play to blacks' emotions and egos. Yes, I do. I agree. I agree that the liberals and the Democrats do these games to black people. I agree with that. I agree. I absolutely agree. Y'all give me 1 second. I think my girl hung up on me. I had her on the thing over here. Y'all give me 1 second, y'all. Trouble at home. Turn off the... Oh, man. Hold on. Yeah, she probably mad at me. It's all good. Let me see who was in here real quick. We got 61 people in the building. The question is, are you struggling with black fatigue? Are you a white man struggling with black fatigue? Are you a tether struggling with black fatigue? Are you a tether struggling with black fatigue? I want to know tonight. Let me know. I want to know. Are you struggling with black fatigue? We want to know tonight. We want to know tonight. Just let me know. Hold on. Resist says white fatigue. White fatigue. Okay. Okay. All right. Where are the black fatigue? Let me see what else is in here. Who else is in here? Let me see. Raise fatigue. Okay. I just want to get some. Let's add something tangible to the argument here, guys, please. Razor says, I'm white. I mostly date black women. I stopped meeting their families. It's exhausting. Well, listen, man. I personally believe you should be with who you want to be with. If you dated black women and I think you should meet their families, I think you should continue to meet their families. It's exhausting to meet anybody. You don't think it's exhausting as a black man? You don't think it's exhausting meeting somebody's father for the first time or mother for the first time? Yeah, they may accept you because you have the same complexion as them, but warming up to someone and trusting someone, it's hard for everyone. I've dated women that were of different races and different ethnicities, and it's hard on everybody. It's not easy for anyone. So I don't think that should stop you from meeting anybody's families. You should just meet their families, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Somebody says, black privilege fatigue. There's no such thing as black. What is black privilege? Can somebody break that down? Shannon, can you break down black privilege for me? I would love for somebody to break down black privilege to me. Vince says, stop breaking up. I'm having to meet new families. Again, guys, we're talking about black fatigue. Are you a white man, a white woman dealing with black fatigue? Are you dealing with black fatigue in America? Are you tired of the criminality? Are you tired of the loud rap music? Are you tired of hearing the N-word when you're in work? I know I am. I'm saying it as a black man in America. When I'm in the workplace and I'm in the see, that's the thing with white people. Y'all don't realize that as black people, there are things that we're tired of as well. You don't think when I see a black person with their pants hanging down their ass, you don't think I'm fatigued of that? You don't think when I'm at the workplace and I'm at a place of business and there's a bunch of white people around and there's another black person there and they're on the phone and they're using the N-word every 5 seconds, you don't think I get fatigued from that? I get fatigued from that. But there's also things people do of other races that I get fatigued from. I get fatigued from things that white people do. I get fatigued from things that Asian people do, Hispanic people do. I get fatigued from a lot of different races, if you ask me. You know? Bunny says, you don't know who has privilege by who you can't call slurs. That's a fact. I agree with that, Bunny. Because there's one particular class of people you can't say nothing about them. They've deplatformed Kanye. They don't want his new song. There's one particular class you can't say nothing about them. They will debank you. They'll do everything to ostracize you. I'm not even gonna say their names. I'm afraid to say their names. I'm cool. I don't want no smoke. Are you dealing with black fatigue? Let me know. Are you dealing with black fatigue? Vince says society is exhausting for sure, but we all need a workout. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. So listen, I think I'm gonna wrap it up on black fatigue tonight. We're probably gonna do another live at some point. Maybe we'll do a live tomorrow. We're gonna stay on this black fatigue thing. There's different things that I want to talk about and address. If this is your first time here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you join this channel. We're gonna have more discussions on black fatigue. We're gonna have more discussions on when we talk about different things here, a bevy of different things. We talk about celebrity gossip. We talk about politics here. We talk about a host of different things. But right now we're focusing on black fatigue because there's a discussion happening on X about black fatigue. And salute to Star. Star, he really got me back on the hamster wheel to talk about black fatigue. So we're going to be continuing the discussion on black fatigue. Black fatigue. We will continue the discussion on black fatigue. So if this is your first time here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the channel. But with that being said, you guys have a good night. You guys have a productive week. I am True and Living. This is the Check-In Report. Toodles. We out.
Fire! 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 Fire!
We out. Y'all have a good night, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, y'all.